Good morning from KMVT.
Good morning, Southern Idaho. I'm Jacob Dizon. Here's a look at your digital news update. The federal government shutdown is causing delays for Idaho's most needy families. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has instructed the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare to temporarily delay issuing SNAP benefits. This means food stamp payments for November and beyond are on hold. As a result, Idaho families may not see their SNAP benefits until the federal government shutdown ends. Nearly 125,000 Idahoans received SNAP benefits in 2023, or 6.5% of the state's population. WIC benefits are not affected by the change. You can also expect longer wait times if you call or visit DHW offices. Nearly 300 food banks, pantries, and soup kitchens are available across Idaho for immediate help. Meanwhile, funding for the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program is also a concern to local organizations. LIHEAP, as it's called, helps low-income families pay utility bills when they're short on money, and it's normally funded by the federal government. The South Central Community Action Partnership normally sees an uptick in people applying for assistance as winter approaches. Chief Financial Officer Michelle Pickles-Simer worries that due to the government shutdown, they won't be able to provide any LIHEAP assistance for families.
We have some limited funds right now, and it's carryover from last year, but to qualify for those funds, the family would have to have a shut-off notice from their main source of heat before we can assist with that.
Pickles-Simer says they are accepting LIHEAP applications. However, SCAP is still waiting to see if there will be any funding resolutions passed to fund them. If you wish to donate to SCAP to help fund energy assistance and other programs, we'll have that information available at KMVT.com. A suspect involved in the August 2024 raid of Twin Falls massage parlors has been sentenced on a misdemeanor charge. According to court documents, the Twin Falls County Magistrate Court sentenced Lan Wang to 180 days in jail with 145 days suspended for providing commercial sexual activity. Since Wang had credit time served for 35 days, she's no longer in jail. Wang will be required to serve probation for 2 years and pay a $1,000 fine. Wang was one of the suspects arrested after the Twin Falls Police Department raided 4 massage parlors last August. Salon Khan, responsible for managing two parlors alongside Wang, is scheduled for a sentencing hearing on November 17th. The Magic Valley community came together last night to discuss the return of medical service to Jerome. St. Luke's played host to a community conversation on gauging people's current thoughts on delivery and maternity services for women in Jerome. According to Chief Medical Officer Joshua Kern, the hospital halted services due to nurse shortages during the COVID pandemic. Kern says the event was intended for the Jerome community to weigh in on bringing those services closer to the city.
We bought a piece of property in Jerome with this long-term plan of replacing the facility. We did hear from community members that said, hey, let's think about bringing OB services back. And so that's part of what prompted us to want to have this community listening session, to hear what the needs are, because it's not just, hey, bring OB back, but what are the OB needs for the Jerome community?
Among community members' wish lists are faster travel times, more local connection to patients, and more bilingual services. Now let's check in with Heather Ann Wagner for a look at your weather.
Good morning and happy Wednesday. We are going to continue this pattern where we're seeing nice calm conditions and even some warmer temperatures for the Wood River Valley, mostly in the 50s and 60s today. Now cloud cover will start to move into certain areas, and that is because there is a system that is going to come through, but that is pretty much all that it's going to bring us. For the Northern Magic Valley, mostly in the 60s today, the upper 60s at that. Twin Falls County, mostly in the 50s and 60s. And for the Mini-Cassia region, mostly in the 60s. Now, as that cloud cover moves in, overnight it will actually decrease. So we won't have the clouds very long. For the Wood River Valley, we are going to see that temperature climb tomorrow to 61 degrees. For the Magic Valley, we continue into Friday, 68 degrees, before dropping down to the 50s and 60s for the weekend.
That was a look at your digital news update. We'll be back with more local news today at noon. Until then, you can also send us story ideas by sending an email to news@kmvt.com.